Hi everyone, this video is to guide parents on using Mobile Guardian's DMA portal, and I will be talking about the card layout after you sign into the portal, the web filter reports, and the functions that are available for option A parent users. Please note that for option A parents, you have the flexibility to take control of the PLD device after school hours. Okay, this means that you can customize web content, you can install apps, Chrome extensions, you can adjust sleep timing, and at the same time, you can also view the web browsing history of your child. Okay, and this can be done using another computer. Okay, so if you are an option B user, you have full control of the PLD device after school hours, and there will be no web filtering function. Okay, let's start. After you have logged into the Mobile Guardian, okay, you will see that there is a card here, and this card will show your child's name. Okay, if it says that it's active now, it means that the PLD is being in use. Okay, and this is the serial number, and the active profile just means what profile it is in right now. Okay, so for our school, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on a school day, it will be school study hours profile. Okay, after 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., it will be after school study profile, and finally after 11 p.m. it will be in sleep hours. Okay, the device will go to sleep. Okay, so this eye icon just represents that you can view more details about your child. Okay, and for this red eye icon, it means you can view more details about the device. Okay, please do not change this setting of the number of minutes for update interval, okay, so that the device will be updated in the correct way. Okay, so do you need to refresh the device every now and then? There's no need to, unless we are troubleshooting the device. Okay, so your child will likely only have one device, and if you have many children in this PLDP program, you will have multiple cards. Okay, more than one card that you see here. Okay, so I will now talk about the web filter reports. On the left side is the web filter report button. Okay, and you can filter what you want to see, okay, and customize this option. Press apply, and you'll be able to see the websites that your children have been visiting, okay, during that period of time that you indicate. Okay, so you can also export it as a CSV. Okay, in the guide, PDF guide, it states that you can export as a PDF too, but I'm sorry, this is still being developed, so we just stick to CSV now. Okay, so let's now go to the web filter options. So what you can do, okay, just to let you know in advance first, for option A parent users, when you control the web content, you are only controlling the after school hours web content. Okay, so whatever that is set by the school during school hours will remain unmodifiable. Okay, next, when parents view web browsing reports, you will see your child's after school web browsing history. Okay, so what I know is in the near future, you may also be able to see your child's web browsing history when your child is in school. Okay, so but this is not yet available, so you will just see your child's web browsing history after school hours. Okay, and note that for games, social networks, and YouTube, as a school, we did not control this category, so your child will be able to access. If you want to allow or disallow your child to access these three big categories, you can do that in the portal. Okay, I will show you. Okay, next, these two highlighted YouTube channel and YouTube URL, just note the words channel and watch here. I will talk about it later. Okay, and finally, for option A users, when students or yourself as parents, you want to download apps or Google extensions, you must go to the Google Web Store, not the Play Store app. Okay, and this is the URL. Okay, so let's now go back to the DMA portal. In order to take control of the web filtering, you must go to the gear icon, settings, and click Save Content. Okay, now you can see that this enable filter is switched off. Okay, if it's switched off and you are option A user, it means that nothing has changed. Your PLD is still very much under the school's DMA policy. Okay, and it is okay to leave it this way. Okay, if you switch it on, okay, and you do not do any changes, you do not make any changes, okay, it is also okay. Therefore, your PLD is still in the school's DMA policy. Nothing has changed. Okay, but if you switch it on, it really just means that you want to take control of what your child can do with the device after school hours. You want more content for him or her. Okay, you want to be able to download more apps. Okay, now after switching it on, okay, and you have made some changes, okay, as you can see, it's quite a long list. If you have made some changes and suddenly you decide to switch it off, okay, due to any reason, just note that if you switch it on again, the changes that you've made will stay there, okay, so that you will not have to spend time to adjust everything again. Okay, that is some pros and cons to it. Okay, so, well, let's now talk about controlling the device, being able to filter URL, download extensions, etc. Okay, so now I have switched it on, enable filter. So if you were to click block all traffic, it just means that the PLD device cannot go to any website, anything at all that uses internet. Okay, so next, you realize that the YouTube filter has its own button. Right now, if we scroll down, we will not be able to see anything to do with YouTube. Okay, so you have to switch it on before you can take control of YouTube channels and videos. Okay, let's now switch the block all traffic off, so that at least your child can still use the PLD, right? So we will switch it off, but we also want to take control of the YouTube channels and videos that your child is watching. So these two buttons will be on. Okay. So at the same time now, it's good to see this fine print. Allowed listing always overrides block listing. Okay. So I will talk about it later on. Okay, so in the internet, there are so many categories of content. So all this that has been listed down is based on MOE DMA policy. You cannot override this. Okay, so I know there's no red color padlock icon here. Okay, it is missing, but it is a technical issue that has already been raised. Okay, so if you try deleting one of it, okay, for example gambling, and you click yes, you realize that you cannot delete at all. Okay, on the top right, there's this alert that says action not available due to district configuration. District meaning MOE. Okay, so try deleting this, it is not possible. Okay, next, can you actually whitelist gambling then? Okay, let's try and add. If you whitelist, it means that you want to make it available for your child. But as you can see, the same alert has popped up. Okay, so it's not possible to do or override what MOE has set. Okay, so now we want to talk about URLs instead of categories. Okay, now, sorry, we'll go back to category now. Okay, what happens if you were to scroll down? Okay, if you scroll up and down, you realize that actually there are many categories that has not been blocked by MOE too. Okay, for example, what I have mentioned, games, okay, social networking. Okay, so if you allow games, you actually do not need to click games and allow because it's not blocked. So naturally, it's already allowed. But when do you use this allowed list? You use it when you allow all games, okay, and you add, but you don't allow some gaming websites, okay? So the whole category you allow, but you don't allow some of the gaming websites. So for example, you don't allow Y8, okay, then you add. This means that your child can still go to gaming websites, okay, as stated in this category is under the below the white allowed list, okay, white list. But no matter what, if he or she were to go to y8.com, it will be impossible, okay, to enter the website. Okay, so same thing, let's say you don't allow gaming. Okay, you do not allow gaming, so you choose to block the entire category games. Okay, add, and games will appear here. Okay, you have blocked it. Okay, block the whole category under this. You see, it's under the block list. Okay, so but one day you decide that okay, I will allow this one time, okay, and you decide that okay, you allow Y8. So what does this mean? This means that the entire category of games has been blocked, but you do allow just this very simple game site called y8.com. Okay, just this one gaming website. Okay, so I think we are done here for URLs too. Okay, URLs basically just go to the website that you allow or disallow and paste it in this box here or here. Okay, so on the left is to block the website and on the right is to allow the website. Okay, WebTube filter, you will not have this filter here if you have not switched on the YouTube filter just now on the top. Okay, so since we have switched it on now, we will now take a look at this. Okay, categories. For our school, we did not block any YouTube video. So as parents, you may want to do so by blocking these categories that is mentioned here. Okay, you are not able to type in a category on your own, but don't worry, this category is more or less quite sufficient. Okay, so you can still rely on this. Okay, if you were to disallow a category, okay, let's say you disallow comedy, but you still allow one video that is related to comedy, then you will type in the URL of the video here. Okay, so let's talk about what I showed just now, the YouTube channel. Okay, so let's go to YouTube. Okay, let's say that you have this. Okay, so let's say that you know of this channel that you do not want your child to look at, okay, because it's taking up too much of his or her time. So we want to make sure that we block this channel. How do you block? First, click on the name of the channel. Okay, the URL, there's this word channel here followed by a long list of characters. Okay, so you are to select this entire URL, okay, copy and go back to the save contents under channels, block list. Okay, you're going to paste it here. Okay, and add. Okay, so your child will not be able to view any video from this channel. Okay, but let's say you allow just one video. Okay, something quite innocent, which is ping pong tricks. Okay, so if you allow this video from the channel, okay, then you copy this URL and paste it not in this category but under videos. Okay, you allow just this one video from the channel that you have blocked earlier. Okay, this is how it works. So same thing, if you do not allow a few videos that you think is harmful for your child, okay, you can go copy the URL and paste it over here under the videos block list. Same thing, on the left is to block and on the right is to allow. Okay, and how would you know that if a website has been whitelisted or blacklisted? You can go to the top of your this save content page. Okay, under URL tester, you can type in y8.com and test. After clicking test, it says that this URL is whitelisted but it matches the category games that is blacklisted. Okay, and let's see for Facebook. For Facebook, if you remember, I did not do anything to it, okay, to that whole category. I did not block it just now. So let's test. So when you do not do anything to the URL, it says that it is not filtered. Okay, let me now bring you to some important points about save content. Okay, so let's take a look at this. For categories and URLs, okay, please note that some URLs actually appear in more than one category. So let's have this example of URL 1. Okay, it appears in category 1 as well as category 2. So I give a scenario whereby both categories has been blacklisted. Okay, so what this means is that the student, your child, cannot access that URL 1 at all. Okay, but as long as one of the category is whitelisted, okay, then even though category 2 has been blacklisted, but because category 1 is allowed and URL 1 appears in category 1, then the student can actually access the URL 1. Okay, so this is a very important thing to note in case you wonder how come after blacklisting, blocking some categories, your child can still access the URL that you do not want your child to access. Okay, so please take note. Next would be talking about schools DMA policy. We reserve the right to block any apps, Chrome extensions, URL that are objectionable. Okay, so it applies to these three categories: apps, extensions, and URLs, but I will just use apps as an example here. Okay, so let's say I have three apps. First is app 1. Okay, and during school hours, the school has already blocked app 1. Okay, what happens after school hours is the school did not control app 1. We did not block. We also did not allow. Okay, so we did nothing to app 1 for the after school hours. So your child can actually access app 1 after school hours. Okay, and parents can decide whether to blacklist this URL or this app 1. Okay, next is app 2. So our school have blocked app 2. After school hours, we also block app 2. What this means is we have decided that app 2 is not suitable for your child. We even want to make sure it's not available for your child after school hours. Okay, and we have the control for this, and therefore your child cannot use app 2 at all. Okay, using this PLD device. Let's go to app 3 now. As you can see, the arrow has switched direction. Okay, so let's say after school hours, your child downloads app 3. Therefore, your child can use app 3 after school hours. What happens during school hours? During school hours, your child cannot use app 3 at all that he or she has downloaded. Okay, we did not block the app, but for our school setting, we need to whitelist it in order for your child to use. However, as we are not going to do that, we did not block, neither did we whitelist the app, so your child cannot use it at all during school hours. Let's now talk about installing new apps and Chrome extensions, okay, for after school hours use. Okay, so by default, the Chrome Web Store is switched off by the school. So what you have to do is to whitelist that URL. So go back to home screen, under Gear, Settings, Save Contents, under URL. Okay, paste the URL for Chrome Web Store in the allowed list. Okay, so add. So please tell your child that on his or her Chromebook, he can go to the chrome.google.com web store to download new apps or extensions. Okay? Next, are you able to disable your child's PLD? Okay, it is possible, but only after school hours. Alright, so for example, you want your child to go for dinner, okay, and you want to block the device. So what you can do is go back to this home screen and click block. Okay, select the device and okay, type a message in, and if you were to click block, it will instantly block the device from use. Okay, and your child will only see the message on the screen. But if you do this, there's no expiry time limit, so you will have to come back to this page to unblock the device. Okay, but if you know you want your child to be away from the device for 1 hour, you can set the duration to 1 hour and start. Okay, after 1 hour, it will automatically make the PLD available for use again. We have come to adjusting the sleep hours. Okay, adjusting your sleep hours is not straightforward. Okay, you have to go to schedules, add new. Okay, you can call it sleep hours. And for our school sleep hours is 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. Okay, so if you want to override this setting, make sure you type in the name for the schedule, new schedule, and decide on the start date and the end date. Okay, and let's say you want the device to sleep at 10 o'clock instead. So, okay, 10 p.m. And you want the device to be switched on earlier at 5:30. Okay, so you can set 5:30. Okay, and perhaps you want it to be from Monday to Friday. Okay, so you click. If Saturday is included, you can also highlight. Once highlighted, it means it will be applied to the days that are highlighted. Okay, so at this point, I would like to highlight that for the wake up time of the device, okay, the school setting is 6 a.m. If you have set it as 7 a.m. on a school day, okay, that setting will not be valid at all, because at 6 a.m. the device will still be able to be switched on for use, okay, because school setting takes priority. Alright, we are only at step 1 of adjusting the sleep hours. We need to go to one more step to make this happen. Okay, so go to home screen, click the gear button and click create rule. Okay, and give the rule a recognizable name. Okay, sleeping time. Okay, this rule should be applied to this device. Okay, apply device block to limit screen time. Okay, and this is bedtime. Okay, you can set and type in a new name if you want to. Okay, where and when should this be applied? Activated at a specific time, and it should follow the schedule that we have set just now, which is called sleep hours, the one that we set under schedules. Okay, and click create. Okay, and it's done. Alright, so before I end this video, I would like to say something about this last seen 5 minutes ago. Okay, what does it mean? Okay, as long as the device is connected to the internet, DMA portal will be able to detect the device is switched on. Okay, and it does not necessarily mean that your child is using the device. Okay, then the next thing I would like to remind all is that your child should always do file housekeeping in the Chromebook in order to free up space. Okay, and extensive downloading of apps may slow down the entire Chromebook. Okay, so watch out for that. One last thing to note is that if you want your child to be able to use the apps that has been downloaded for after school hours use, you must make sure that you have switched on the web filter button, which is under gear, icon, settings, save content. This button has been switched on in order for your child to use the apps that has been downloaded after school hours. Okay, I've come to the end of this video. I hope this video has guided you on the use of the DMA portal for parents. Okay, so if there's any questions, feel free to write to us. Thank you.